Hello, every pony. It is Brony Joe here. Sorry, guys. Hello, every pony. Welcome back. It is Brony Joe. Here bringing you another awesome chapter of the My Little Pony fanfiction Fight for Love story. I almost cried, man. I almost cried. Okay. I'll just get on the story. I want to cry. Chapter 17. Tears. Tears everywhere. Spike ran into the room and immediately received glares. The only eyes that didn't lift were Twilight's. She was concentrated on Rainbow's frail figure. Rainbow Dash was glaring straight at Spike. Her eyes were begging him to go and hug her. They didn't scream hatred. They thought it would be best to ignore that. He thought it would be best to ignore that. Applejack stood and walked over to Spike, pushing him back out of the room. She sneered at him before slamming the door shut. He put his hand against the glass and looked through it. A rainbow. But the curtain was shut in front of him. Fluttershy ran up to him and put her delicate little hand on his shoulder. "Come on. We better go before someone shoots us," she said quietly, Spike ripping his arm away from hers. "No, Fluttershy. You ruined my life enough for it one day," he snapped before walking away. He didn't look back, but he knew that her eyes were on his back. He attempted to turn around to see how she was looking at him, either glaring or looking heartbroken. As he turned the corner, he stole a glance heartbroken. Fluttershy almost screamed, but being Fluttershy, it only came out as quiet as "Ah." She stomped her foot as loud as she could, which wasn't very loud, and walked off in the opposite direction. She ran straight to Brewburn. He looked up with her sad eyes. He must have heard about it. She tried passing him, but he grabbed her small, delicate arm, pulling her to stop. "Sorry," he said. She flung around to face him, her pink hair whipping in his face. "For what? You have nothing to be sorry about," she shouted. But it was quiet. She couldn't be loud. No matter how much she tried, she just couldn't be loud. "I'm sorry for not being good enough," he said. Her heart broke as she realized something. "You are good enough. You're perfect for me, Brewburn. It's just my stupidness that it's just my stupidness that couldn't realize it, okay?" she said, her voice cracking. She ripped her arm from Brewburn. "Take me back," he said. "I can't do that to you." "Why? I love you, goddammit," Brewburn said, Fluttershy's eyes wide with a gasp. What? "You heard me. I love you, Fluttershy. I will fight for you every day, and I'd take a bullet for you," he said. She fell into his arms. "I love you too, Brewburn, but I cheated on you. How can you still love me?" she asked, looking up at him. "It'll take a whole while to replace my trust, but I still love you. Those feelings don't just go away," he said. She got up and smiled. "I have to go," she said before running off. She ran as fast as she could. She needed to get to her house. She needed to see her beautiful animals. She ran into the house and saw the little white bunny had been there for her through everything, even though she treated Fluttershy. She treated Fluttershy like absolute shit. The bunny raised an eyebrow at her and tapped his foot. She was really a strange bunny, but she ignored the fact because she felt like the bunny could talk. She could talk to the bunny, and no, she wasn't crazy. She went to go get bunny food, even though she wasn't in the mood to be a slave. Spike sat on the edge of the road, thinking about what he has done. He felt so empty, so alone. He had cheated on the girl he loved. Rarity had always been his crush, but when he had started dating Rainbow Dash, she completed him. Lust had gotten the best of both him and Fluttershy. He thought back to what happened. Fluttershy opened his bedroom door and walked in. She smiled at him and sat on his bed. He raised an eyebrow. She was wearing her yellow dress with butterflies at the bottom, with a skinny top and magnified her big breasts beautifully. He mentally slapped himself. He had a beautiful girlfriend. "What's up, Flutter?" he asked.
"Spike, I need to tell you this. Although I love Blueburn with all my heart, I still love you,"
she said, getting up and sitting on his lap. She brought the dress up, taking it off gracefully. She was sitting in her underwear, her big breasts nearly popping out of her yellow bra. Her pants matching her bra. They were yellow. You could see her butterfly tattoo. She brought her lips down to his, and they crashed together. Her pink hair danced on his cheeks. He was sure that she could feel his hardness. He stood up, lost in the moment, and crashed her against the wall. The door was slightly ajar, but he didn't really care. She had torn his shirt off, so Spike reached for her lancy yellow underwear and tore it off, her bra shortly following. Suddenly there was a loud gasp and footsteps tumbling back. Spike let go of Fluttershy and ran to the door. He opened it but saw that no one was there, only a rainbow-colored flash. It must have been Rainbow Dash. She must have seen it all. Spike ran his hand through his hair and burst into tears. Applejack sat shivering. It was night, and she was freezing as she sat leaning against a tree. She stared at the ground, wishing it all to end. All her friends were falling out because of a guy. She hated it. She hated him. All he ever did was care for pain for Rainbow Dash, but she loved him. That's what she hated the most about Spike. Every girl fell in love with him, even Applejack for a while. But now she hated him with all her heart. She began to dislike Twilight for keeping him in her house. She hated him. She hated him. Suddenly, she burst into tears. "You okay, Applejack?" a muscular voice asked. Applejack looked up to be met by her caring eyes of her brother. She shook her head, wiping the tears away. "Spike's ruining everything for everyone. I hate him," she said. He gulped and leaned down next to her. "Spike saw me and Rarity doing it once. It wasn't very nice. He wasn't really spoken. He hasn't really spoken to me since. I'll see you now. That's probably a good thing. Come on. You're going to freeze your tits off in this weather, he said, Applejack laughing a little, but then became serious. I feel too weak. I don't think I can move that easily, she said. He smiled. Okay, climb on my back. I'll carry you in, he said, turning around, moving slightly, and climbed onto Big Macintosh's back. He stood up and began walking back to the house. Applejack couldn't help letting more tears fall out of her eyes. Hello, everybody. Okay. Wow, why did it sound like I was doing an intro video? An intro. Fail. Anywho, that's it. That's chapter 17 for y'all. So, yep, see y'all on chapter 19. And we're almost we're close to be done with the story too. Go figure. Freaking awesome. Oh, because I want to get to the end of the story because I love the story. This is awesome. So yeah, and if I can, I think I might do a clop flick. One that the guy Prince of Penguins has read. It's called yeah, I think I will do a clop flick. I'm just gonna do one clop flick because I feel like doing the clop flick. When I'm done. So yeah. See you later, everybody.